Every day, we encounter so many different people. It may be the same few who revolve in your life, but sometimes you may encounter some people you've never really talked to before, but for whatever reason, you did that day. No two people you talk to are the same. People have different mannerisms, different ways of making conversation, different reactions, and at the end of the day, it's all about respecting those things about each person you encounter. So our question is, why then is it so hard for people to be themselves? Why is it so hard for people to be independent?
To be independent?
Yes.
I'm not doing that.
What?
I don't even know, to be honest.
Because people are afraid of being alone.
Because people are grown up to be attached to their parents.
Being independent is kind of scary because you may go into things without knowing what you're doing.
Because we're raised with so many expectations to the point where when we're left to do things on our own, we don't know where to go.
I mean, I think that right now, since we're all high school students and we're trying to balance like grades and balance social life, trying to find who we are, it's just a matter of time. And I don't think it's necessarily hard, but it just takes a long time and it's a process. Because everybody's like on everybody for everything.
Because it's like so much easier just to follow someone than like to have to actually like branch out and do whatever you want to do.
And then they're like, but no, do something different though, but also do the exact same thing as everybody else.
They have this notion that they have to fit in with everyone else.
I was kind of told to like have friends and surround myself with people. So after like receiving that messaging for many years, it's just difficult to sort of break away from that expectation.
Because people don't feel like to be alone. That's why I keep it.
Because there's a lot of people telling you what to do, and you feel like you have to listen to them.
After hearing your responses, we asked our MHS faculty, how do we overcome these barriers?
Nobody likes getting older, but the one cool thing is that the older you get, the less you care what other people think. So it's liberating, and you can look forward to that. But I think right now, I think what you're saying, like, you know, like these reasons for not wanting to be independent and like not taking the risk to be more individual is, it does make sense to me, you know, like it really does. I mean, I was there, I remember, trust me, I was not always this willing to be different, you know.
I think it is worth it to be yourself despite barriers in modern day, because obviously there's all the usage of social media and how everyone's trying to impress and show other people the life that they want to have. But I think in a world that's sometimes so filled with fakeness and facades, even though you might get judged for who you are, I think that makes you unique and it makes you stand out. And I think in a world that lacks uniqueness and compassion and caring, I think people who stand out and are themselves are the people who make the world better.
Just at the end of the day, be able to look yourself in the mirror and know that you're a good person.
I mean, it's only natural for humans, like we want to fit in, right? Because we're social beings. But ultimately, you're only really answerable to yourself. So you can only do what's right by you. You've got to decide what is right by you, and that's, you know, to be yourself is all that you can do.
And I think the thing to do is recognize that what you're going through now is very different from every generation before you. And it's okay to have struggles and have challenges, but just to recognize what they are. Each decade gets better. Each decade you feel stronger and more confident. And just push through and be aware that changes are part of life. And you're going to be fine.
So, you know, ultimately, you know, you're all high schoolers going to the same school and dealing with a lot of the same things. Not everything will be the same, but I think you'll find more commonality between each other than differences, and that's what you need to, like, you know, hold on to and build your friendships through, and learn to trust each other and rally to each other when you know that someone needs help.
As long as you're a good person and you're kind to others and you respect others and you're accepting of others, that will come back to you. And you, as long as you're true to yourself in that process, like that's what you have to remember. So when the voice pops up and says, you know, like, oh, don't do this, right? You know, or like, what are people going to think? You have to pull up the other voice and say, shut up, it doesn't matter. It's hard. Teenage years are hard, but it's almost over. Don't worry.
It's natural to feel reticence about being independent and putting new ideas out there. But I think if you look around here and you look carefully, there's a ton of young people who are energetic and eager and thinking about things. And if you look carefully, I think it's not impossible to find fellow travelers that will go with you on your journey.
we are constantly looking for approval from other people. But really what we need to realize is that having our own approval is really enough. And who cares if someone doesn't or does like your outfit or doesn't or does like your hair, because if you like it, if you feel good with what you're doing, then it's going to portray that confidence and that happiness. And it does come with age, but if you just stick to what you want to do, other people will jump in and appreciate you because you are going to show off your happiness and your confidence.
The best way of loving yourself is being open to the fact that you can define yourself against those expectations and even the expectations that you have already set for yourself. So above all things, love yourself and who you are for exactly what you are, and others will learn to love you too.
Just want you to know, love yourself. Do what you want to do, be happy with yourself, and don't let anybody change you.
You know, it's pretty easy to lose sight of the importance of being yourself when every day there are barriers that tell you to be someone you're really not. What we're asking you right now is to hear the wisdom from those who have struggled with individuality as you have, and as everyone does. This is what they wish they could have heard, so take it for what you will. Oftentimes, it's the fear that keeps us from doing what we truly want to, the fear of rejection, the fear of loneliness. But when you think about it, it's a beautiful thing when you start being yourself, and those who love and accept you begin surrounding your life.